numbers for us. Steve.
Hey, David, yeah, rate cuts are coming according to respondents to the CNBC Fed survey, just not now, but there's increasing confidence the Fed is going to be able to cut in the fall, and a new focus right now on just how far they go over the cutting cycle and how they get there. 81% see that first cut coming in September. 86% see the second cut in December. Note that this is a little more hawkish than the market, which has 3 cuts really built in the futures pricing. This group a little bit more cautious, or thinks the Fed will be more cautious. 73% say the Fed should ignore politics in figuring out what to do in September. Okay, let's do the math now. The current rate, 5.38. By the year end, the average forecast for the Fed funds rate is 4.91. So call it 225 basis point cuts this year. 2025 year end is 3.94. So call it another 4 cuts next year, or every other meeting, with the long run being 3.1%. That tells you that the Fed is going to be tight, or is perceived to be tight, over the next year and a half. Chad Morganlander, portfolio manager at Stifel Nicholas, writes in, for now, the Federal Reserve is in the catbird seat. Money supply and inflation trends are moving in the right direction, and credit conditions are favorable. We expect a well-rehearsed rate cut at the September meeting. A lot of folks thought the same. Okay, so 36% still think the Fed is going to cut too late, but there's a growing number who think, hey, maybe the Fed gets this right. 36% think it gets it right, and 27% are concerned the Fed would cut too soon. So should the Fed hold rates steady before the election to avoid the perception of political interference? 73% say no, don't worry about it. Our work shows the Fed will move in September, whether or not it's a presidential election year. 23% want the Fed to hold off. Peter Bookbar, Bleakley Financial Group, believes, quote, this rate cutting cycle will be more of a tweaking as the Fed tries to balance the fear of inflaming inflation again while trying to keep the economy growing. That as opposed to, say, where it has to slash an expectation for a recession. So expect the Fed statement tomorrow and the Fed chair to provide some limited guidance that there is more confidence inflation is declining and rates can come down, but he's not going to show his hand as just how far and how quickly he's going to get there. Guys?
Yeah, I know you will be parsing over every word, Steve. Thank you. Our next guest is pushing